Hi everyone, welcome to UTV Gooner and our show, The Shooting Lone Star with Ram from the Austin Gooners. Hi bro, how are you?
Hey, what's up, bro? Just 9 games to go. A lot of anxiety, but also a lot of excitement. Um, yeah, man, it's starting to be real. Every game is important, and I've also noticed like games that don't involve us or City or teams that we're gonna play. Like I really don't even care about right now, man. Like it's just tunnel. It's starting to become tunnel vision. Like it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like it's intense, but I like it. It's just this is fun.
Yeah, for sure, bro. It's that finishing line's approaching now, It is that serious time. Just literally, it's just 9 games right towards the end now. Let's talk about that last win for us. So, brilliant performance. Again, all round team play, comfortable 4-1 win. And it was after City had just beaten Liverpool as well. So the pressure was on us. And we responded once again. We've done that so many times this season, either responding to them winning and closing the gap or responding to them dropping points and taking advantage of that. Outstanding once again, bro.
Yeah, and something that I was listening to a podcast earlier about the game, right? Just reflections, and one of them made a real good point and like made me start thinking about just how much we progressed and kind of explain like what the game looked like on Saturday. Like, there would be times where last season or the seasons past where we would watch a game against a team, let's say it was like Chelsea of the past or not just any team, right? Let's just say. And we'd go toe to toe with them for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, like their quality would just kind of take over the game. Or they would bring somebody on from the bench and it was just like then you knew it was like, damn, it's over. Or like, you know what I mean? Like and that's almost what it felt like on Saturday, where you got to kind of give it to Leeds a little bit as much as we dominated that first half. I think for the first 30 minutes, like Leeds was kind of holding their own, and they even almost scored like in the first 30 seconds again, like which was I kind of hope we get that kind of sewn up, especially when we face Liverpool this next week. But like they held their own. They have some good quality players. They made the game close, and it was for a while, 0-0. But then once we scored that first goal, we just started to settle, and then we went into halftime 1-0. But it still felt like we were starting to take over. And then sure enough, second half, 2 minutes in, boom, 2-0, and then 8 minutes later, 3-0. And then we started bringing on the subs, and you're like, wow, Bukayo Saka off the bench. Um, Jorginho came in to replace Thomas Partey. Like that just feels so good. Like that's such a luxury thing to do. And then even late in the game, bringing on ML Smith Rowe, Vieira, Tierney. Like we've got a good looking bench. We got a good looking team, and um, we're just flying right now, man. As you said right before we went on, like is incredible to watch. It was another, again, I was worried because Leeds was one of these teams that is fighting for relegation or fighting against relegation, and they're in that scrap. And they, like I said, they played hard for the first 30 minutes, but we showed up to be the much better team, and um, as they like to say, never in doubt. And this was probably the first time where I felt good going into a game. Like I've been so nervous. Um, And yeah, we just answered the call, as you said. City destroyed Liverpool, and we just kind of went into that and said, "All right, well, we see your move, and we'll match this." It's like two poker players at the table, just kind of calling each other's bluffs, man. It's incredible to see us step up to the plate every single time. You know what I mean? It's incredible.
Yeah, bro. It's amazing. Gabriel Jesus got 2 goals. He has his first start in the Premier League since his long injury. He's looking really sharp and he's going to be vital for this last 9 games
Yep.
for us.
Yep. And he got two like great goals, right? I'm glad he got the penalty. It was good to see him uh, get it. I think if Saka was on the pitch, he probably would have taken the penalty. You saw Odegaard kind of hold on to the ball, kind of made it look like he was going to go. I'll tell you what, I was nervous, and a lot of other people were nervous at the tavern here in Austin, like when he ended up taking the ball, because I didn't know this until afterwards. But even with that make, his record is he's made like six, but he's missed seven, so he's not like the best penalty taker on the team. But I think it was just really important. I mean, you saw it when Saka took the ball to do it against Liverpool. Like, you know, really important to kind of get over that hump. He's been out for a long time. The last time he actually scored a goal, I think in the Premier League, was against Spurs in October, right? So such a long time. So for him to just knock it off and get a goal, and then get a goal like 30 minutes later in open play, like a great 1-2 back and forth with Trossard, like it's a big day for him, and then he started as well, and you can tell he was a little bit not annoyed or upset, but he definitely wanted to play the full 90, and he said so after the game. But he's fully back, man, and he looks good, and he provides that level of what's the word, unpredictability, like again within the system, within everything else, like he fits in perfectly, but he has that tendency to just kind of make something crazy happen. And I think as good as we've been without him, that's what we've missed. And it's great to see him back, bringing that element back, which I think makes us a lot more dangerous, man. And it's exciting to see.
Yeah, bro. And we're able to give Saka a rest in this game. It just shows the depth in squad we have now. Having Trossard in there, he's been amazing this season since he's come in the team in January. 7 assists, again, outstanding.
Yeah, man. And you see, and again, I'm still learning about tactics and understanding where players like to play and everything. But like, if you look at the starting lineup, like, Martinelli, Jesus, and Trossard, right? Like Martinelli up top on the left, Jesus up the middle, Trossard up the right. But like, they're just so interchangeable at times. Like sometimes I saw Jesus out wide, Martinelli up the middle, Trossard on the left hand side. Like these guys, just it's so amazing to see, and it can really wreak havoc on opponents, man. And yes, as you said, like a lot of people were nervous because word was getting around, like there was a few people getting sick, and people were whatever, and people were nervous to see Saka out. But like, I was excited to see him out. Like, man, we need to give him a break and let him chill. And this is a perfect time to do it. Let him sit down. It wasn't like, it's kind of like when we signed Trossard and we started giving Martinelli a rest. Letting him come off the bench a couple times, and that's what we need to do. I mean, on one hand, Saka's one of probably our best player, right? One of the best players in the world. You know, becoming his own, right? And that's part of the reason why he's played every game. Like, you're not gonna. There's not very many people who are gonna take his spot on the lineup. But at the same time, like, he's played so many games, so many minutes, especially for country as well. Like, he needs to have some rest and not play every single game all the time, because we want him to be our star boy for the next 7, 8 years to come. So um, I was really, really thrilled to see him off. And then, I mean, within like 20 or 30 minutes, they showed him on the sideline warming up. Like, he was ready to go. He played his 30 minutes. And then, from what I read, also, like, he warmed down with a bunch of the other subs after the game. So, I mean, he's good to go, man. I think the story of him being sick was just kind of a little tactical genius from Arteta, man, just to keep everybody on their toes. You know what I mean? He's fine, man. It's good to go.
Yeah, bro. We got some massive games coming up, so to get that rest in at that time was really good. Talking of the
Mm.
massive games coming up, man, let's talk about this weekend. Liverpool, we've got a really poor record at Anfield. We know we've really suffered there in recent times. not just some defeats, but some really bad defeats. They're not the same
Yeah.
this season. We've seen they've struggled, but they are still very strong at Anfield. We saw that just recently when they beat Man United 7-0. So it's going to be a hard one, bro. What's your thoughts on this one?
Um, I think, yeah, as you said, our history proves that we've had a hard time playing there. The last time we did play them, I can't remember if it was home or away last season in the Premier League. I think it was a 2-0 loss, and I think it was away, or I could be wrong. No, no, it's been a long time. But anyway, um, I think it's going to be intense, kind of like the first half with them against City, where I watched the game and we have Peter Drury for NBC right here in America, so he does. I don't know if his voice gets broadcasted over there in England or whatever, but for at least for most of the games here in America, like we get to hear him and his great stuff. And he did that game, and literally the first thing he said at the end of that City and Liverpool match was like, "This was like a tactical masterclass of a game. Like Liverpool looked really good, and it was incredible to see. And then the second half, they just were deflated. Now the thing is, like they were away, obviously, um, and they're a much different beast at home and at Anfield. I think their record is they've only lost three all season. They have a goal differential that's insane. They beat United there just a couple weeks ago, 7-0. Although you can say that United kind of gave up after a certain amount of time, and I don't envision us giving up at any point, regardless of what the score line is at any point in the game. I think it's definitely going to be. I think it's going to be a classic high scoring affair, 3-2, 4-3, something like that, where they're going to be up for it. They rested a lot of their big players. Yes, only yesterday against Chelsea. I think that's a slight advantage that they had a game in midweek. You kind of take any advantage you get. So I think it's a slight advantage for us, anyways. They didn't look very good. So, um, but yeah, so I think they're gonna come hard at us, but at the same time, we're flying high. I think we got like the stronger midfield. I think their defense is in shambles right now. I don't think Virgil van Dijk is the same guy that he's always been the past few years or whatever made him world class. Like, I don't think he's that guy this year. I think Trent Alexander-Arnold, I like him. He's a fun player to watch, but he is not a very good defender at all. So I'm really excited to see like somebody like Martinelli just kind of put him through hell. Um, and I think our midfield is better than their midfield overall. So yeah, I think we have the slight advantage, but I think it's just going to be like our game against them, like at the Emirates earlier this season. That was high scoring, 3-2 that we ended up winning. It's going to be a classic that hopefully you know ends in our favor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. The big thing is it's a difficult ground to go to, we know, but we've seen this season the way we've gone to grounds that are real hard for us, the likes of Tottenham. We were so dominant in that game. Man United as well. All right, they did manage to beat us, but we were the better team in that game. We've seen us go away to Chelsea, play so well. Man City as well in the FA Cup. All right, we ended up losing, but we really took the game to them. We've been really confident playing our game at these difficult grounds. So hopeful that we're going to be able to repeat that sort of performance on that high level. And I think we're going to have too much for them. To see when you look at the lineups, you match them up. Okay, they have got some really good players, but they've just not been at the level we've seen in the last few years. I think we're going to go there and be really dominant. And, it's going to be a statement as well for us to go there and get a win. So I'm very confident. How confident are you? What do you think the score is going to be?
Oh yeah, I mean, again, this is like the theme, man. Ever since things are getting more serious, like I think I'm more confident than I've been in the past 7 or 8 weeks, which on one hand scares me a little bit because all these games I've been doubting, not doubting, but just like, oh, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And then we come back around and we're like, oh shit, what a game. We're flying. You know, I think this is gonna, like I said, I'm gonna stick to what I said, where it's gonna be like a classic high scoring game. But I'm gonna say 4-2 our favor. But I think it goes back and forth, and then I think we pull away at the end. Only because yes, what you just said kind of uh, rang a bell in my head, saying like yeah, we played really well many times away. I think we almost have we give up less goals away, right, from the Emirates. Um, and I just think, we've answered every call, we've answered every test, and this is just going to be another one. And this is not the same Liverpool. Um, part of the reason why we've suffered so much at Anfield was just different levels, bro. And like Liverpool and Arsenal have not been the same 6, 7 years for in the past. And I think what I said before, we played them the last time back in October it was, I think, and where this was like Liverpool has always been that team that I've looked up to in terms of like that's what I want Arsenal to be. And the years before, especially last year, like you can see glimpses of it, and I felt like this past time we played them, like that was a big monkey off our back, and I felt like damn, we did it. Like that was like almost the first step in me believing that we had something special going on, was finally beating Liverpool. So in the reverse fixture in Anfield, I think it's going to be the same kind of thing where the old ghosts are still going to be there. Like they're still going to play us hard. We might still look a little shaky to start, but I think as the game goes on, just as we've seen City do, just as we've seen us do, take on that early storm, and then just overall with time going on, we've got quality, we've got players that are confident, and I think we can just. I'm not going to say we're going to go in there and just wipe them off the floor at Anfield, but yeah, I think over time, by the second half, will be ours. So it'll be like I feel like we're going to see at some point we're going to be level 2-2, and then we can just pull away. So still high scoring, I think, um, but it's going to be 4-2 is what I'm going to say. Yeah, I'm going to
Well,
say that 14.
that'll be a nice, entertaining game.
Yeah.
Win for us. I'm going for 3-1. Think
Ooh.
like I think it's going to be comfortable in the second half. I think first half will be tight. Might go into halftime 1-1, but then second half we'll pull away from them and get that big win, and that'll be such a statement win for us, and the confidence we'll take from that as well. And also, City will look at that and be like, "Wow, these guys have gone and won at Anfield, a place they're probably looking at the fixtures and saying, it's in their minds." It's a place that we could be dropping points. So if we can go get the win there, that's really going to put a big statement out. So let's talk a bit about City now. They've been flying. Mentioned earlier about how they beat Liverpool so comfortably after going 1-0 down as well. That's impressive. They didn't have Haaland as well. Before the international break as well, they were banging in so many goals. They won their last couple of games 6-0. So they're in really good form. They got Southampton on the weekend. What's your thoughts on City and on this game?
Man, how about City, man? Yeah, they're the only other team that has just the team form, how we go back 5 games and just kind of look at the W's and the L's and the D's, win, lose or draw. Like they're the only other team that's just like us right now. It's just 5 straight W's, man, and they're like killing it right now, and they're scary. Um, you never know, right, with these games. I mean, this next match against Southampton is an away game for City. Southampton is last in the table. They are desperate to get out of the out of the bottom. And the thing is, like, it's close, right? Like, if they win, let's say they win, that brings them up to 26 points. Still in the bottom three, but like if you go all the way to 12th place or 13th place, it's 29 points. So everything is still kind of, they need to put in a couple of good results. So the pressure's on them. So I'm kind of hoping we see um, kind of a worldy performance from those guys. I don't really know too much about Southampton other than they, you know, nicked a draw off of us when they didn't deserve it. But they've not been. Give me just one quick second to pull them up. One win in the last four. A draw against Oh yeah. Oh, okay, that was the one. The draw against Tottenham Hotspur 3-3, where they came down. They were down 3-1, came back within the last 15 minutes. I was watching that game. Yes, you can't really like, you know, I guess write off any team. Kind of hoping to see Southampton play City difficult, at least make it hard for them. I don't think they'll be able to pull off the win though. I think it'll be like I'm gonna say 3-1, but it's gonna be a close 3-1, right? It'll be like 2-1 toward the end, and then City just kind of does what they do. So Southampton's gonna give them their best, but I don't think it's gonna be good enough. And I think City's gonna keep the pressure on at least another week.
Okay, bro. One thing, Southampton did beat them in the League Cup. I know it is the League Cup, but they pulled out some magic there, and it was a good win. I remember watching that one, and they played really well, deserved to beat them. So hopefully they can do us a favour and pull off another win. That'd be amazing. But we just got to concentrate on ourselves. I was listening to Xhaka's comments. He's like, we're not even looking at City. It's in our hands. Only 9 games to go now. We can do it, man. It's just so close to that finishing line now. 9 games. If after such a long season, when you look at it, just 9 games, it feels like not many, but at the same time, it feels like far away as well.
Yeah, I mean, and I think you go back to, I mean, this has been a weird season, right? Like you had the Queen dying and like postponing like 3 or 4 games. You saw the World Cup right in the middle of the season that kind of didn't necessarily throw things off. Maybe for some teams it did. For us, a little bit. Obviously, right? We got the Jesus injury, um, but I think it's just made like the first half seem like such a long time ago. And yeah, I was thinking about like if last 9 games to go. I was looking back at the table and just kind of thinking about what I was, how I was just kind of feeling in the first 9 games, thinking like, oh, like I don't want to think about that far ahead. Like, everything is hypothetical, this, and this. And now, yes, it's starting to become real and also like a little bit terrifying, but like in a good way. Like, yeah, 9 games to go. And what you want with every team that you root for in all of sports, regardless of what the situation is, whether it's to win the title, whether it's to make the playoffs or whatever, like you just want your team to be in control of their own destiny and not have to like worry about, well, if this team does this or if that team does that. Then it just becomes like just too much math and too much just confusion. Like it's just much easier to just be like, hey man, I'm just gonna worry about my team and they just gotta take care of business. And as long as they take care of business, everything's peachy, right? Because we can come up with all these kinds of things and this, that, and the other, but we can continue do the thing and win. Not, I mean, if we don't lose, whatever City does doesn't even matter, right? So that's so simple, so difficult, but so simple to say. And like that's the beauty of what's going on right now. Is at the very least, at least right now, it's just we just got to worry about what Arsenal does, and that's great, right? Because I can watch all these other games, and right now it just doesn't even matter. Like right now I have you here, and like on the side, I got United and Brentford going on, and I was like, it'd be nice to see United lose. They're winning right now, and I'm not stressing out because I'm like, doesn't matter what they do because yeah, it just doesn't matter. So yeah, man, it's becoming a reality, and like it's gonna be crazy. I don't know if you're religious or whatever, but like Easter Sunday, Liverpool at home. We're gonna have the bar open. Like we're gonna be there. Hopefully Jesus starts. He deserves it, right? And we might see some Jesus magic going on Sunday, which would be great. Yeah, man, it's incredible. I can't emphasize how fun this is. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit is fun. I'm enjoying it to the fullest.
Yeah, for sure, bro. It's been so long since we've been involved in the title race. It's nervous times, but it's really exciting times. It's special times. It's a time to enjoy being in this position. And let's roll, man. 9 games, counting them down. Big weekend coming up. Before we go, just get a few predictions for you for some of the other key games this Premier League weekend. As you say, none of them involve teams we need to worry about or care about. But yeah, let's talk about some of them. So Man United are playing Everton.
Oh, I watched some of that Everton Tottenham match, man, and that was
That was a funny
incredible,
goal.
man.
That was a funny game. That was
Yeah,
typical
man. I
Tottenham.
mean,
Typical Tottenham. They got handed the game. Everton got them players sent off, gave a penalty away. They're 1-0 up, not that long to go. They go get someone sent off themselves to level it up, and then they go give away that. It was a spectacular goal, but
yeah,
that was really poor from Tottenham. Like, what are you doing in that situation? Like, you should be seeing that game out, and it was great to see.
yeah, man. And credit to Everton, like they look like the best team, like fighting the relegation battle. Tottenham did it again, though, and it was just kind of incredible to watch. I think City, even right now, not City, but United, even right now with this 1-0 win, they don't necessarily look like they're dominant. Like they got the early goal, but it's kind of been a little bit of a stalemate ever since. Against unless United is playing a team like Charleston or Coventry or some of these smaller clubs, like they don't look good, and they look a mess without Casemiro. And I think Everton is gonna bring it to him. And I envision I'm gonna predict um, a United loss. I'm gonna say Everton 2-1.
Okay, talking to
Bold.
Tottenham, they've got a difficult game this weekend. They got Brighton.
Oh, you know what? Tottenham have Tottenham do not look like they have the new manager or the no manager bounce. They did not look that much better without Conte or whatever. Like with that monkey off their back, they just look like the same old Tottenham. Brighton are flying. It's a little bit terrifying that we still have to play them, but they look good, man. Uh, so I'm gonna say they're gonna get battered, bro. I'm gonna say Tottenham loses 2-0 to Brighton. Brighton is flying right now, and it's a little bit scary, but I don't think Tottenham have anything for Brighton right now. 2-0.
Okay, that'll be amazing.
Yeah.
Love to see them struggling so much. Hopefully they miss out on the Champions League places. It'd be great. So, bro, I'll look forward to speaking to you next week now. Hopefully we're discussing a great win against Liverpool. Exciting times, bro. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, man, my pleasure. Yeah. I don't know if you celebrate, but like a happy Easter to anybody who watches this and does celebrate. Um, Usually we are never open uh, at the tavern on a Sunday or Easter Sunday match, but this one, a little bit of a special time going on, and the people working there, great people, and they were without hesitation. They're like, "Yeah, man, we'll be open on Sunday. Like, no big deal. Like, let's do it." They love us, we love them, and yeah, part of our Easter Sunday celebration is going to be um, at the tavern watching Arsenal play. So hopefully we get a nice gift on Sunday, and yeah, we're talking next week about about 8 more to go, and everything's still in our hands.
Yeah, bro. Come on, boys. Massive
So
weekend coming up. So that's all from us. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share.